mythology of this movie is what's great about it. Now, my problem with it, as we will go on talk, is it can't deliver a third act that lives up to the first two acts.
Or just the setup in general.
Yes. But the setup and the first two acts and the mythology involved is fucking sensational.
Yeah.
If they delivered it all the way to the end, this would be a science fiction classic. And I actually think the mythology, not only I think it's even more intriguing than the one in Westworld, and it's actually more plausible than the one in Westworld.
For sure.
Okay, go on with your Frank Bruno review.
This Westworld, I got to do it in the voice of...
Get your pipe going. Get your pipe going. Get the pipe.
Okay. All righty then. I think I'm ready. Let me just adjust my ass a bit. This Westworld ripoff succeeds, while also blazing its own trail across the rocky range of mountains known as science fiction. With Jack Palance, the only actor wild enough to wrestle Yul Brynner to the ground and make him say beg, and the elegant heroine of genre cinema, Samantha Eggar, at her most horny, there's a lot to like about 1977's Welcome to Blood City. But it's the unexpected roughneck performance by the usually flaccid Keir Dullea that surprises above all. Turns out the guy has grit when given the opportunity in a character, and is keen to deliver by bullet or bare knuckles.
That is so drastically my favorite Frank Bruno review. That actually tapped into William Margold.
Yeah, I tried.
That really, really did. Especially
this time I tried.
The horny Samantha Eggar. That's exactly what he would have written. At right on, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
And okay, so there are two favorites of ours in this two favorites of the show rather.
Yes, exactly.
One would be the great Jack Palance.
Yes.
From our Uli Lamel.
From our very first episode, our maiden voyage, you might say.
And is he eating it up here again?
He's magnificent. He's having such a good time. And one of the things that's also interesting about this, it's interesting because apparently the tape came out after he had won the Oscar for City Slickers.
Oh, yeah. Where he was doing one-handed push-ups on stage?
Right, yeah,
is that
exactly,
him?
yeah. But what's interesting, though, is the movie's a 1977 movie, but almost all the aspects of his character Curly that won him the Oscar for his, slightly spoofing his own persona in City Slickers, this is like the maiden go-around for that performance is in this movie. And it's even played with the same kind of comic twinkle.
Yeah.
In his eye. But, his dialogue is fantastic. It's... When we watched the movie, we kept every big scene with Jack Palance. We just kept talking out loud about look how fucking great he is in this. He's so charming. He's so enjoyable. He makes the entire concept come alive.
Yeah, he's shown up to do this little programmer, and he's bringing all of Jack Palance to the show, and it's great.
The story basically, forget about where it starts, but the story gets going with Keir Dullea from 2001, maybe his best performance since 2001, and definitely his most animated performance since his Otto Preminger film Bunny Lake is Missing.
Yeah, completely. He's unlike any other role he's done in this movie. He's tough in this film.
Well, yeah, usually when he shows up, he's just this, like you said, he's this flaccid character, whether it's in The Fox or it's in, all the weird cheapy science fiction movies he does.
Even 2001.
Strange New World or something. Yeah. But it works. It works completely. As part of the thing. But he has a sense of fun and a sense of entertainment and a sense of almost like a genre actor kind of performance that you just never see Keir Dullea do before. And he really kind of pulls it off. But anyway, the idea of the movie is all of a sudden Keir Dullea wakes up in the middle of some prairie, some rocky, westerny kind of prairie. And he's wearing some sort of what looks like a futuristic prison outfit. He wakes up, he has no idea where he is. And then there's about 4 or 5 other people there. Almost all of them famous Canadian actors, have been in zillions of Canadian movies.
Yeah.
All right. And so he wakes up and then he's like, where am I? What's going on? And they're all, well, we don't know our names. We don't know anything. We all just woke up in this Western landscape. The only thing that they have is a card with them. And the card lets them know that they're killers. And so what one person is saying, okay, you killed your baby. Somebody else, you killed 3 people. in a car crash. You killed 2 people doing this. You killed 5 people doing that.
And other than that, they know nothing about themselves.
But they know nothing about them. The only thing they know is that they're killers.
Well, it's kind of important that Keir Dullea, right at the very beginning, after everybody has sort of like come to this acceptance, well, one thing we know is that we're all murderers, and then he tears up his card.
Yeah, he doesn't read his card.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's like, tearing it up. He's sort of like, don't believe everything you read.
Yeah. No, he already makes himself like the alpha dog. Already makes himself the leader of
the idea that Keir Dullea is the alpha dog in this situation suggests bad casting, but it's not bad casting. He rises to the occasion. It makes me think I wish Keir Dullea had been given more roles like this.
I actually think it actually looks like Keir Dullea and Jack Palance especially. I think you get the impression that they really responded to this screenplay.
Yeah.
That they were really, really excited by the possibilities of the screenplay. So these characters are walking along. Then some Western varmints show up, take their boots, and then rape the girl that's with them, Hollis McLaren from Atlantic City, and the movie Outrageous. And then all of a sudden, Jack Palance shows up, who's like this lawman. He's the sheriff of the town. He goes, well, I'll take you into Blood City. And while you're with me, ain't no one going to hurt you while you're in Blood City. And he walks them in, and he realizes that, like, everybody in Blood City, which is this Western town, they want to kill him.
Chaotic Western town.
It's a chaotic Western town where murder is just happening everywhere, but they can't kill them because they're under the protection of the law.
Yeah. And you immediately start noticing a few weird design choices, like these cowboys are wearing kind of strange symbols on their...
Yeah, you've got cowboys who are dressed up just like normal shopkeepers and the extras.
The background.
Of a Western movie. But then you have these other people, and you're assuming that
like an entire class of people.
That they're sort of the contestants or whatever this is going on, where they all wear black cowboy outfits with a target. On their back.
Like a red plus sign.
Yeah, it's like a target on their heart and on their back. And so now, I won't go through all the whys and the wherefores of the rules that the people of Blood City and our lead characters have to play in. However, what you don't know while you're watching the movie, and frankly, I don't care for the conclusion that they come up with, but you don't know exactly what you're watching for like a long, long period of time. Is this some weird prison of the mind? Is this a prison that they're at? Is this a game? Is this actually maybe a game for fun that they're all partaking in? Like it could be a Total Recall.
The movie's really good as long as you're asking that question.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Well, as everybody goes into town, you're either like one of the slaves, basically. You're a slave until you kill somebody, and you can only kill somebody if if they legitimately come at you and you get them.
Right.
And so there's like all these rules they have to live by, and so you get picked off right and left if you're one of those people. And the trick is to become one of the citizens, one of the people who wears black. One of the black suit people.
Well, if you're one of the black suit people, you can still die once you've killed 20 people.
You become immortal.
Now you become immortal, and now you get to be a shopkeeper or something like that. Now
you get to live there in peace, basically.
Yes, exactly.
As a background character, and so I'm watching this, and I know that it's a Westworld ripoff.
But it's also, doesn't it start seeming like, especially at this point, like there's also seems like a little battle royale mixed into there, with Jack Palance literally being the Beat Takashi character, running the whole thing, but also explaining the rules to the contestants as they go on. And they seem, it's funny because it's like, to me, it's like they're either contestants or they're prisoners. Or they're the third thing. Now, it turns out they're the third thing, and that's the least interesting.
Yeah. and it was actually...
scenario.
And you know how much I love Samantha Eggar now at this point. Yeah. Like, I think she's just the cat's pajamas. I just love her. And so when she showed up in this movie, I was like, all right. And then she has kind of a little bit of a thankless role. And then come the point, which is, I'm guessing, around mid-movie, where she basically explains what the plot is. And undoes all of the mystery of it. I couldn't help but feel a little let down in that moment. Well, having said that, Jack Palance, keeps it going.
I think the movie goes for like about 15 or 20 minutes before it cuts to Samantha Eggar and her husband, who are like these computer programmers that are kind of, programming this whole thing. The minute they cut to the computer programmers, the movie's never quite the same again.
Yeah.
All right, be like, oh, that's what this is. Now, I will say, I don't like that they did that. I wish they had told the story without. I think you could easily have told the story.
I know you can.
I know you can. You know, you could definitely have told the story without jumping out that way. It's kind of a bummer when they do, but I will give them some credit for it. They make that ultimately work. The whole concept of the two married computer programmers.
That's the reason. That becomes the reason for the movie.
Yeah.
Which is the one idea that's really better than Westworld in many ways.
Yeah, I don't think they should have gone that way, but for them going their own way, they do make that part eventually work for them to some degree.
So, when I was watching this, almost the moment you popped out and we realized, I immediately started suspecting this is different than Westworld. This is a virtual reality of some kind. Mm-hmm. Mostly because I was equipped, being a Prisoner fan, with Living in Harmony, the Western episode that is where they take number 6 and they put him into a Western reality. Yeah. Harmony, this town that he cannot get out of, no matter how much he tries. It's a parallel for The Village itself, and what they're saying is, look, you can take The Prisoner and you can do it in any genre. You can make a show in a Western town, and he would still be this character struggling like that. And they never break the reality until the very end. And actually, when they break the reality at the end of Living in Harmony, it's almost the worst part. Even there, I almost wish that they would have just let it be as the Western that it was.
I gotta say,
this weird, obviously not Western.
Those are the things we don't like about the movie. What we like about the movie, aside from the performances, is there's actually a minutia to the way that the Western tropes work in this science fiction world that are really, really clever, that are really, really cool. All the different breakdowns of how Jack Palance explains how this works versus how that works.
And he is just chewing it up as he's doing it. He definitely doesn't make it boring.
To me, there's a slight pane of glass between me and Westworld because I just don't find it plausible that all your gunfights are going to happen to be with robots. Well, what if you have a gunfight with a real person? Well, yes, your gun doesn't work, but now you've just broken the illusion. All right, people break through windows and fly out of windows, and no one sprains a wrist or nobody twists their ankle. I don't quite buy how you have a barroom brawl with robots and nobody's thrown through plate glass windows and no one got cut.
That future is coming, Quentin.
Okay, but there's nothing that doesn't really happen in the Welcome to Blood City world that I didn't buy.
Yeah.
The stuff that works so good that Roger's watching. I've seen this already. Roger's watching this and I keep looking at him and he's like, well, this is a science fiction classic, right? And I go, don't get so caught up. Yes, it is. It could have been. It doesn't last all the way through, but I forgot how it doesn't last all the way through. And it doesn't just self-destruct. Like I said, it just kind of leaks away. But I'm telling you, the stuff that works in the first half really, really works. The ideas in it that work really great ideas. I think probably of all the films that we've done so far, this is the one that's begging an even better remake.
Absolutely. This one could be remade in a hot second.
In a hot moment, this could be remade, and all the great things about it could be kept. I would change.
You could do it as a series, even.
It actually would almost be better as a series. You could do
a Westworld ripoff series.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. And whoever was going up against HBO would be happy to do it. This is Welcome to Blood City's for stars, all right?
Yeah.
Or Showtime.
Yeah.